Hello Yellow class, welcome to Tuesday. So I'm just going to run through your home learning for today. So as always we are going to start off with phonics, so you can pause the video and go through your speed sounds and then pick a few out to make sure that you've learnt those. Our tricky words for this week, we've got the word people, P-E-O-P-L-E, again, A-G-A-I-N, again, water, W-A-T-E-R, water, and went, W-E-N-T, went. Now our sound for this week, we are revising the long A sound. Yesterday we looked at the AI, which tends to come in the middle of words. Today we are looking at the split vowel digraph. That's when we had an A and an E that were joined together and a naughty little consonants come in between them and split them apart. But we need to remember this E that goes on the end because that helps our letter A make that A sound rather than just making the A sound. Okay? Now, if you go on Phonics Play and have a look at some of the games, this is actually in the phase 5 because this is a sound that you would learn in year 1. On your sheet today, you have got some words with the split vowel digraph in them. Again, have a go at reading the words, have a go at writing some of them. Make your own games, do whatever you want with those. Then you've got spelling shed, and as I said yesterday, you have got some games that will help you with spelling words with that long A, spelt in all 3 ways that we learn. You have also got a game for your tricky words, and then you have also got some suffix words that we will be using on Thursday. Make sure you do some reading, and our comprehension question for this week is using language for effect. How does the writer describe? So when you're reading your book, think about how the reader has described something. Counting up and back in 1, so count all the way up from 1 to 100 and then see if you can count back, and then you might want to play if somebody's free. I say 3, you say 3 game, so that you're having a little practice at doing some of the numbers out of order. Division. As we talked about yesterday, division is sharing. So it's when we divide things up into a certain number of groups, and we talked about that word equal. Okay, so when we are dividing, we are sharing out between a certain number of people. So we're looking at division. We were keeping this idea of our shop and packing our fruit together. Now I've jumped the 5s because sometimes they're a little bit trickier and sometimes we can see these ones a little bit more clearly. Now, as we've only just started with our division, I'm quite happy if you want to carry on dividing by 2 today. That's absolutely fine. We will be covering division again when you come back to school, so it doesn't matter if you just want to stick there with your 2s. If you want to move on, today we are going to be dividing by 10. Now, when we divide by 10, things get a little bit more tricky, especially if we are trying to draw diagrams, because I'm not just dividing into 2 groups now, I'm dividing into 10. So when I'm sharing out, I actually need to draw all 10 of those groups. I tend to draw them like a sideways numicon, just so that I know I've got 10. And then I can put my strawberries, I can share them out. So I've got 30 strawberries. Again, it's not an art competition, so I don't need fancy strawberries. I can just put them in as a mark. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, when I get to here, if I'm counting correctly, I will always be saying a tens number when I get to this one because I'm counting up in tens really. So I've got to 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. And I look back at my calculation because I've got the number 30 there. So if I look, I had 30 and I've drawn my 30 strawberries. I'm sharing them into 10 groups. How many in each? We can see that nice and easily. I've got 3. And again, You might know some of these and you might be able to see a pattern with these. Sometimes the 10s are a bit easier than the 2s because we can see that pattern a bit more quickly about what is happening. You could draw an array. It doesn't matter how you want to work them out as long as you are getting the right answer. And again, you have got on your sheet, you've got a spinner, it's got the number 10 in the middle, and these are all numbers on here that can be divided by 10. So, carrying on with our report writing, so yesterday we looked at doing a plan and we put lots of ideas about our school into this plan. Now what I'd like you to do today is you are going to write the first 2 sections. I've given you a title. You want to change that title, make it a bit more exciting, that's fine. Your title goes at the top. So I'm just going to write Manor. We've got a very long name of our school, so I will let you just write CE. Manor CE Infant School. Now we've got a subheading. Our first part was going to be our introduction. So I write introduction over here because it's my subheading. When I've got a subheading, I'm going to be writing a paragraph with 4 or 5 sentences in it. Introductions sometimes might be a little bit shorter, but thinking about what we can put in here to describe our school and tell people a little bit of general information in our introduction. When you've done those, you'll then, I'm going to need to look back to see what we've got to do. Classes. Then our next section is classes. So I would write my subheading, and then I'm going to write another 4 or 5 sentences about the classes. Now don't forget, every sentence we write, capital letter, well done. Everything starts with a capital. Okay? We've got a capital at the beginning. We need punctuation at the end. That will usually be a full stop. You might have a question in your report. You might even have an exclamation. Okay? Make sure you've got some punctuation at the end. You might even need commas if you're writing a list, because we don't write and. We would use a comma to write our lists. Think about if you're going to use some adjectives. You might want to use some adjectives to describe some of the things at our school, and you might also want to use some of those conjunctions to extend your sentences. Our playground is big and we like to play lots of different games. Okay? Think about what you want to write on there, and that's your writing for today, and I will see you this afternoon. Take care.